Okay.
Welcome to season 1, episode whatever.
Episode 0.1.
Slightly off topic.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Can you sing our
She's
intro song?
She's the intro
Slightly
song.
off topic. Yeah.
Is that
That just happened, guys.
It's real. No, I took that out. It's cold, man.
We're gonna do that. Okay, so my name is Fausto. This is...
I'm Josh.
I'm here with...
Scoot your booty.
That is forever in this...
That's my ladies.
Oh, are we using our computer?
Yeah, this computer
Tips
Don't
Fedora.
mess anything up.
This is Trevor.
Sweetheart, I'm
Trevor's
sorry.
here.
You're like 90 pounds. You can sit up and just scooch.
Excuse me. I am moving.
Slowly.
I am moving.
Thank
You
you.
just help me. Okay, someone. All right.
So topic
back
of
in
today,
place.
the clearance aisle in Target is gone.
Wait, what?
What?
For real?
That's disappointing.
They took it out?
That's very
Yeah.
disappointing.
What does that make you
I
feel like?
salvaged a candle though.
Maybe they moved it.
No, I asked. They got rid of it.
You really
Jerks!
make their own candles and it's super easy?
I tried and it was a disaster.
Really? What kind of oil did you use?
Soy wax
Okay.
for our plants.
I did it with oranges. Super easy.
Oranges.
You just open the peel.
Orange.
You just,
There's.
I just flipped the bird out.
It's a good thing there's no sound to flipping the bird.
Uh-huh.
We'd have to censor it.
So basically you can fucking open
Motherfucker.
up,
Yeah.
peel an orange, cut an orange halfway and then
This is
go
not
in and get the peel and then from
a
there you
children's
can use the
podcast.
actual white piece, just put the oil in there, it's a fucking candle.
It's hot out.
It's hot out?
It's cold.
Cold
what?
in here.
It's
Yeah.
hot
It's
outside.
windy.
I'm fat with a sweater on.
Okay,
so.
that's true. That's true.
Okay, we need to fucking start this podcast. 'Cause
Well,
clearly-
Okay.
what is the
The clearance
topic
aisle is
about?
gone.
Yeah.
That's
So you
happening.
know what that means.
Whoever hears this, I feel
Illuminati.
so sorry. Whoever hears
It's
But
this,
I
the
think that it
Illuminati.
does stick to its name.
because they would be like, "What the fuck is
It
going
cleared out.
on?"
It cleared out.
Okay, so let's.
Cleared itself out.
Basically, we had a podcast recorded, a first episode, and the computer that I'm using sucks dick.
And
And
destroyed it.
basically, deleted the file or
It just-
misplaced
No,
the file.
it's recoverable. Well,
Oh, it's recoverable, but we can't recover it now.
it's just gonna sound.
It's in a pocket dimension.
So we're now using, it's in the what is it, the upside down?
Yeah, like literally.
From Stranger Things.
No,
And
it
so-
just sounds like it.
Well, you guys haven't even watched Stranger Things, have you?
Are you
Of
out
course we
your
have. Are you
mind?
fucking?
Thank you,
I'll
okay.
kill you.
Excuse me.
I'm offended.
It sounds like
What
it
is
was
this?
recorded in like a 70s radio talk show like type
Or we're
quality.
just talking
Yeah.
over each other.
You guys should have a sound
No,
effect
it's-
for whenever Fausto flips someone the bird, so everyone can hear it happen.
I wish we
Yeah,
had
pretty
that,
much.
like a soundboard.
Also, like, blah.
Don't do that.
What was that
That's
in
weird.
Metalocalypse? It's like.
Yeah, the like pinch harmonic. I love that.
We'll just
It
have like a
does-
triangle or something super lame,
Oh,
like I don't know,
Like
a
a
unicorn.
How
like
about
a-
like a
ding,
like a harp.
a harp.
I'll just play like a sound effect on my phone.
There you go.
Don't do that.
a
There it
duck
goes. We're
quack.
already
It's
off
gonna
topic.
hurt me.
We're already off topic again.
Instantly.
Amazing. So we wanted to do a 420 episode.
This is the 420 episode.
Oh well,
It's happening.
it
It's
would've been
happening
great,
right
but
now.
You could have just said it in the beginning.
Yeah.
Instead of, like
Oh,
waiting.
Yeah, but we're
20
not gonna
minutes
do
into it
like
to
a
say
history of marijuana.
I was gonna say the only problem with the first
It's just
episode,
for-
going
it's
back
just 420
to
motherfuckers.
somewhere.
Yeah, this is like the mystery. I'm just gonna be like
It-
the
Yeah,
420
it's
special
gone.
that never is gonna go. In
No,
the
it'll go on. It's just the quality might be a little off. That's all. It's like okay.
Did you guys test the microphone quality?
We
Yeah,
did.
we did.
This one works
Okay.
And
well.
all this is being recorded. Like, this is actually the podcast. Which is really
What's happening?
So I'm gonna start with a fucking subject.
Fine.
Clearly,
Give me one.
Fine.
So
Give me a juicy
we
one.
originally were gonna try to do all this stuff that's not gonna happen. We were gonna try edibles and do all this shit. And
Yeah, that's impossible
But
though
then
because
we
that
all have
requires.
jobs and we're poor people.
Yeah,
so we
that
can't do
requires-
anything.
Oh.
What happened?
Hurt my finger.
Oh. I thought you broke a nail.
R.I.P.
That is literally the
That's what it
most.
sounds-
It looked like she broke a nail, right?
You hurt yourself opening a wax candle.
I did. I actually broke a nail.
That is so sad.
My skin.
You're gonna fucking use Linkin Park right now.
I think we might get
Is that-
copyright strike.
Anyways,
for
what
that.
was the subject?
These poor potheads that are listening to this episode are just gonna be like, what is this?
Just
I
take
I
a
watched
came
the
here
high
to
court.
hear dank
Like,
memes.
I'm gonna just fucking turn on the high court. What is this?
Yeah.
Or any Doug Benson related anything program.
Who the fuck is Doug Benson?
You don't know? He's
I
like
don't
he's
want
one of
that.
the, he's a funny comedian. He's actually pretty funny. And all he does is smoke weed everywhere he goes. He had
Sounds
after watching Super Size Me, he made a documentary called Super High Me,
super high me.
where he smoked weed for 30 days. As
This is
if
somebody-
that's not
this is a
something
candle?
he did anyway.
This is a candle being lit, not marijuana. Okay.
But,
Aw, you could've
But now he has a really
pretended.
funny show called The High Court
Don't
on
burn
Comedy
it.
Central. Comedy Central is not
just-
advertising this. They're not paying me. Feel free to do so, though, if you want
Hashtag
to.
non-spawn.
Not
Non-spo-
sponsored.
Non-spawn.
Non-spawn. And so
Non-spawn.
it's basically, it makes fun of all those ridiculous court shows.
Yeah.
But he's high throughout
The whole
show.
thing.
And then he also has a comedian come in to act as like the warden or whatever.
Yeah.
And they instead of talking about the case, they're gonna go behind and smoke weed. And then they
Yeah,
go
they
back,
come back in.
and they're like, "We
Like,
just
what's up?
came back from deliberating the case." It's
Yeah,
great. It's
it's
really
like-
funny. And the dumbest people go on there, which is just like.
Wait, it's like,
regular
but like people
court
come,
shows.
like for real?
Yeah.
Like it's Maury?
No, it's like a court show.
Yeah, no, I
Maury's
understand
not-
Oh,
that.
Judge
I understand
Like
that.
Judge Judy or Judge anything else.
No, and yeah,
Judge
but
Brown?
it's
Yeah, but
people.
dude, it
It's
was-
real people.
Yeah, it was really funny. It's pretty funny. I saw like the first few episodes.
ridiculous.
And he also
That sounds so
has
funny.
He has a few podcasts too. I think he works for the Nerdist.
Action Bronson has that.
Oh, I love Action Bronson.
He's
That
hysterical.
Action
He's
Bronson.
so funny.
I like. Fuck That's Delicious is funny.
The bullshit that ridiculous like whatever.
The Ancient Aliens one was funny sometimes.
Right.
Most of the time it wasn't very funny.
Ancient Aliens, the show.
No, it was literally
Really
Action
stuff.
Bronson getting high and watching Ancient Aliens with
So
other
stupid.
people, with like celebrities and shit.
I didn't
They would just
say
smoke so mumuch, like so much. They were doing dabs, all this shit. It was
So annoying.
retarded.
that. I really
It was
just want
retarded.
to eat his cooking and have him rap in the background.
Yeah.
Because he's a chef. He's a chef.
He's a
Who's
chef who raps,
And then he's
and he
a
has
rapper.
shows on
What
Vice,
Yeah, Viceland.
Viceland. Yeah,
Did you hear how Snoop Dogg is now
Snoop
a rapper
Lion.
who is a chef?
He's-
I know
he's
that
a
he
chef
has
now?
a show with Martha
With
Stewart.
Martha
Yes.
Stewart, yeah.
What the fuck is that? How did that happen?
They're boys.
Jail happened.
Yeah,
They're
I mean,
boys.
I heard. Yeah. No,
They're
but I
boys.
bet they would. they're
No,
boys.
for real.
They both went to
Martha-
jail?
Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg are like
Right.
friends.
I wonder
Yeah,
if
they're
that
boys.
happened
They
from like.
bonded on their time
Yeah.
No,
in
but
jail.
they were
And they
both.
smoke weed together.
They were
literally.
both on the roast. I forgot what roast it was
Oh yeah.
for like Donald Trump or something.
No, it was for was it for Justin Bieber?
Mm,
I
thought
thought
they
they
were
were
she was
both
on there, but I don't.
Why
think
would
she
Martha
was there.
Stewart go roast Bieber? That's weird.
Dude, they
Because
did
it's
it.
easy to
Everybody
roast
roast.
Yeah,
No, but
Everybody
she
roasted
would have
Bieber.
roasted Donald Trump more than she would have roasted Bieber.
Yeah, but
Shows
she-
her
I
Yeah, but the
think
thing is,
business
Martha
people.
Martha
Maybe
Stewart
it
could
was
probably
Charlie
just
Sheen.
roast anyone.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, but
Yeah.
she was on the one for Justin Bieber. It was not.
I feel like
funny.
Martha Stewart is just a roaster.
She was just saying stuff, and people were like,
Well, Justin Bieber
"White
actually.
woman tried." That's what it was.
Justin Bieber actually did that himself. Like
Yeah,
he's the one who made that
he's the
happen
one who
because
made
he
it.
wanted it to be his recovery. He
Yeah.
wanted to show like
And then at the
I'm
end,
so sorry.
he's like, "Thanks everyone. Thank you so
Thanks
much.
for
I'm gonna
roasting
grow."
me. I'm just gonna,
Have you guys
I'm
seen
gonna
Atlanta?
use this to grow. I'm like,
you
yo,
guys
you
ever
just
seen-
got fucking roasted, dude. That wasn't just like,
But they-
hey,
they
get your
went-
shit together. That was like
seriously
that was like you're a fucking faggot.
Yeah, but
like
they
they're
basically
so
took it easy on
mean.
him, though, seriously.
They're
Yeah.
so
They
mean.
took it so easy on him when
Because
they
he's a
did
kid.
it.
When it came down to it, he was just a
He
kid.
was like fucking 21.
I didn't watch the one of Donald Trump. Was it bad? Or did they Did they roast his ass?
It was funny, but what is it? They were all friends with him anyway. They were all like, "He's gonna run for president." This was like 5 or 7 years ago or something like that.
And he's
And then
like,
look what happened. He's president.
Dun,
now.
dun,
Yeah.
dun.
Yeah,
like,
who knew?
and he's like,
Curb Your Enthusiasm
bitch, I
episode.
might be.
But like there was one of
No,
the guys
that's
from Jersey
ridiculous.
Shore
Dude.
tried to roast him, and it was the saddest thing because like he just bombed immediately.
Who
I don't remember
I
who.
feel
it
like
Tried
it
to
was
roast-
Holly D.
tried to roast Donald
It
Trump?
wasn't,
Vinny?
Was it-
it was the guy.
Situation?
Was it
Situation,
situation? Was it
yeah.
situation?
And
No.
he-
Situation's on too many roids, man. Like, you can't.
Situation. You can't
I
be
remember-
roasting
and he
people.
was trying to make fun of Whitney Cummings, and she's just like
Whitney
happy
Cummings
the
is like-
whole time.
Yeah, Whitney Cummings is
no
like,
one's laughing at his jokes.
Shut the fuck up.
It was really funny.
That's hilarious.
I'm still typing because I can't because I'm the only one putting this on a subject.
Oh, okay.
You guys are everywhere with this podcast, but
Well, it is.
you know what? Talk about something, guys.
It's
No, I
it is
just don't want
it is slightly
the
off
audio to
topic.
get
What is
cut
our
off
what is
from,
our
uh,
That'd
topic?
be funny. If
What is our topic?
If that's what you hear. Anyway,
What
Hope that's not
what did you say what the topic was?
we didn't have a topic.
You said that
Topic
you were.
is, I'm gonna go wash Joshua's clothes.
That's true.
reality.
Reality.
Real life.
Why don't you guys talk about yourselves and introduce yourselves?
Let's talk about ourselves.
Oh, did
I
I
don't
even
wanna
say
do
my
it.
name? I'm Trevor. Hi.
Yeah.
You did say your name.
Oh, I did? Oh, I'm sorry.
Say your name. Say your name. But what do you during the
I can't,
podcast,
what do
you
you
sent
want
me
me
the
to do?
email.
I'm not gonna remember. Okay, you guys can. You talk so much, Josh, and now you're just like.
But we have to have a
I
topic
don't know
of
what to say.
discussion.
Okay, guys, how about this? Why doesn't Josh talk about how much he thinks marijuana should be legal and why? Why don't you start
Okay.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Here we go.
I could. Okay.
You can talk about anything.
Sure.
You're a martial
Sure.
artist, a former actor. You can fucking talk about anything, and you're looking at me like I don't know what I'm gonna say.
No,
What
it's
is
not
that?
that. I just didn't know that you were doing this during. That's what my.
If you give me 5 minutes where I don't have to talk, I'll finish.
No, that's fine. I just didn't understand.
Okay.
I just did not understand. Okay.
There's even drama in this episode.
Yeah, for real.
Trevor, we used to do voice work. And
Used to?
Also,
Still,
you're not doing it now.
he's
could
the
be
number
doing it
one
right
voice
now.
actor.
I put
The
my
world.
time where I could be recording
Good.
here.
Oh, really?
Oh.
No, I'm
Is that
serious.
what's gonna happen? Okay.
Oh.
So it's just gonna be an argument podcast? Is that what this is?
420.
Drama,
I got together with
thrills,
two of my
Okay.
closest friends here.
Okay.
I just met this year.
Okay, so let's talk
This
about weed,
summer.
motherfucker. Let's talk about weed. So, why should this shit be legal? Because fuck you, dude. You can't tell me what to do. You can't tell me that I can drink alcohol, which gets me significantly more fucked up, and I can get in a car and kill people or kill myself or fucking fall down the stairs out there and die. Literally, the fire escape is crazy.
Couldn't you
Hello.
make a similar argument with being? I mean, I haven't done it too often, so I can't say for sure. All I know is it makes me paranoid, and when I
Okay.
get paranoid, I fuck things up. Like
Yeah.
I'll put things down, forget where I put them, and they'll be right in front of my face. Couldn't you make the same argument that it can affect
Yeah,
motor
but
skills?
the difference is that you won't. You're affecting the level of that it the level that it affects your motor skills is significantly worse. Like you can't
That's true.
walk, dude. Like dudes come out of this bar right here, and are just shit faced, man. They're just shellanged. Like they can't even walk properly. Like they can't see.
Talk.
They can't talk correctly. They can't do anything. Like they're just like broken.
unable to,
Like
yeah.
Imagine that behind
Use motor
the
functions,
wheel of a
yeah.
car. Like I wouldn't drive because that just seems stressful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want to put myself in a situation where I'm having to worry about that many variables.
Right.
I just don't want to do that. I'd walk.
That's,
Right?
That's what I'm doing.
But you know, at the same time, even if somebody is driving high, they'd have to be really fucking stoned to be even close to something like somebody who's drunk, even a little bit drunk.
I know people that actually like to drive better while high because it helps them focus.
I've heard of things like that, but I've also, well, you know, come to think of it, I've heard of people say things like, I'm much more focused when I'm high. Like I clean the house, I'll organize things,
That's
I'll go through all
Josh.
this.
And I like to do that better than.
I mean, hey, if it works, but
He turns into like my maid when he's really high. He's like, do we need to do the dishes? Can I take the trash out?
What
you want
do
me
I
to
do?
Yeah, sure.
What do I do? Just tell me. Because I'm just like, I don't like the state of things here. What the fuck is that? You know what I mean? This fucking guy.
Could you stop?
My cat's
What?
ridiculous. Let's just.
Stop being so fucking angelic.
Trevor's like a
Kitties.
Trevor's like a little Disney princess.
You
So
really
we have
are.
a guest star today. His name is Bowie.
I wish you could see him, but you can't. He's my cat. He's
Post a
ridiculous.
photo as the podcast episode.
The 420
I
episode,
was
just me
thinking about
squishing his
actually
face
doing
like
that,
this.
like, yeah, we'd probably do like a
Quintu?
Instagram and a Twitter or
Yeah.
something for it.
Absolutely. And
It's
Bowie.
just that clearly
Bowie's
we
the
should
mascot.
never ever smoke and then go on the podcast because no one knows what's wrong.
100%.
It's cool.
When Josh is really high, he goes from
No, we were talking about we were on topic.
Okay,
You
so
guys.
do-
Now we're slightly off topic. Fuck you.
very
Anyway,
funny.
How about someone? You know what?
I was
I wanna
saying.
research really quickly. I'm done. Research some things about like what people think, what states,
Research them.
you know, why they really think that marijuana shouldn't be legal.
They're taxing it in
There's a
Colorado.
reason.
They're making so much
Yeah,
money.
there's not just that. I mean, there's
The
also like
devil's
in
lettuce.
Colorado and a few other states that have made it legal for recreational.
Yeah,
That's
Washington.
So that now there's issues where it's
DC,
turned
I
into a
believe.
corporate thing, where they're trying the small like farms and dispensaries or whatever.
Oh yeah, they're gonna
They're-
get shoved out
Yeah,
immediately.
because they're trying to make
You're
certain
gonna have to get.
regulations.
Oh my God, free range
So they're gonna
farm
take over-
grown
No,
marijuana.
dude, they're gonna take over. They're finding ways to like close
That's
down,
what it's gonna be for
shut
real.
down the other places to make it a big corporate conglomerate situation.
Yo, my shit came out of the ground. It wasn't grown in a vat somewhere.
Wow. Never mind.
For real though. That's what it'll become. Well, not really, but like, yeah, it'll be like the McDonald's of fucking weed.
All right.
Marlboro,
this
but
is
of
an
weed.
article entitled 5 Reasons Why Marijuana Should Stay Illegal. So let me finish the entire thing
Okay.
before you start getting mad.
I'm gonna explode in rage.
All right, reason number 1. It
Reason
is
number one.
extremely addictive for some people. If you don't want to take my word for it, listen to Dr. Drew Pinsky, who has been working with addicts for decades. It would be malpractice to say cannabis isn't addictive. Anybody who has experienced it, actually been addicted to it, knows how profound that addiction is. The difficult thing about marijuana addiction is some people, even though they're addicted, can do fine with it for many, many years before they start having difficulty. But eventually the high starts wearing off. People start smoking a lot more to try to get that high back, and that's where they descend into
It's not
difficulties.
cocaine. It's bullshit.
True. I've been treating cannabis addiction for 20 years.
I can't. No. Shut the fuck up. Then why is sugar? Ban sugar. Ban salt. Ban fucking alcohol.
How
ban everything.
How much more is there to this? I
God.
Well, that's just the first one.
Fuck you. Get the fuck out of my face.
This
Fuck
is
up,
good.
Dr. Drew.
I've been treating this
This
horrible
I've been treating
addiction.
my chocolate addiction for the last 40 years.
I've been treating
And that's
my,
real,
I've been
though.
treating my
Like,
Diet Coke addiction for like 2 years.
You
Well,
smoke.
who knows what they put in?
Why
that
are
stuff?
cigarettes allowed then?
Let her finish.
Fuck, it kills you.
Excuse me, slightly off topic.
Fuck that guy.
So
Number
there's
2.
only a small subset, but it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that the more legal and available marijuana becomes, the higher those numbers are going to go.
I love how you read like you're trying to be like her.
It's a story. It's a story. I love it.
Well, because I don't want to, I'm unbiased. I'm just reading as this person. Actually, I'm extremely biased. I am this person telling you that marijuana is evil.
I hate you. Okay, go. What's number 2?
This is Meredith, Josh's wife.
I think we did say that earlier. I'm
These-
not sure.
Number 2, this experiment hasn't
we
worked
say
out
that?
so
She's
well.
not as awful as he is.
I'm great.
That's true. This experiment hasn't worked out so well for Amsterdam. Humans, being what they are, just about any stupid idea we can come up with has already been tried somewhere else. Amsterdam is the most famous place across the world that has effectively legalized pot. It has even turned into a tourist destination for
Yeah.
potheads.
Okay.
Legalizing weed has been a huge success there, right? Actually, not so much. Its citizens are now alarmed that their children are increasingly being exposed to it. Amsterdam today became the first city in the Netherlands to ban students from smoking marijuana at school. Marijuana is widely available in Holland. Although it is technically illegal, police can't prosecute people for possession of small amounts. Children are frequently exposed to the drug in public area. This guy just sounds really mad about weed.
Conservative.
Yeah, really.
Conservative Danish people are upset that everyone is just smoking weed. All the
I'm
little
surprised he
children are
hasn't
going.
come up with like 5 different terms
Oh, I
for
love
weed.
it.
In that,
Is it
in
cannabis? Mary Jane.
he hasn't devolved into the devil's cabbage yet.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
not yet.
Not yet.
The coalition is advancing the idea of prohibiting the sale of cannabis to non-Dutch residents, which amounts to a death knell for many coffee shops. Funny story, I have a friend that we all know, but I will not name her, that went to Amsterdam, ate the highest potency brownie,
Rip.
and passed out and shat her pants in a cafe.
She didn't shit her
Holy
pants. She
sh-
pissed her pants.
Pissed her pants, sorry.
Oh, okay.
She didn't shit her pants.
Not as bad, but still.
She pissed
Woke
her
up
pants.
6 hours later.
What?
Edibles don't fuck around.
So that in itself should tell you that weed is
If you're a lightweight, you can't just eat one of those. You have to like portion it.
Yeah. Makes
Number
sense.
3. Marijuana is terrible for your mental health. A recent
Dude, it makes you happy.
That's actually number 3.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's-
only number 3, guys.
Number 3.
great.
How many are there?
Yeah.
5.
Okay.
A
Okay.
recent
I can do that.
Northwestern
I
University
can do that.
study found that marijuana users have abnormal brain structure and poor memory, and that chronic marijuana abuse may lead to brain changes resembling schizophrenia. The study also reported that the younger the person starts using marijuana, the worse the effects become. In its own report arguing against marijuana legalization, the American Medical Association said heavy cannabis use in adolescents causes persistent impairments in neurocognitive performance and IQ, and use is associated with increased rates of anxiety, mood, and psychotic thought disorders. Now,
When was this?
it doesn't
The
say a date.
70s, the 80s?
Well, let me actually interject there, because
Do you know some people who are retarded now because they smoke
no, but you and I have had conversations in a relationship
Oh.
where I think that any use of even medicine for depression, any sort of medication, which marijuana can be, and which is something that marijuana should be legalized
weed? Sure.
for,
Yeah,
I don't think should be used on people that have not passed puberty. I don't think that there should, just like there's a huge argument about, if children come to you and say, I'm 10 or 13, 14 years old, and I feel like I am of the opposite gender, you're not going to allow that kid to start taking hormones, or you will, it's an argument.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that I don't believe that any children should be on medicine of any kind until they're fully developed.
Yeah, I would actually agree with that. I don't
Yeah.
think kids that are too young should be smoking weed because
No.
it's fucking with your brain chemistry. You know what I
I'm
mean?
like, slightly off topic, but
no, for real though.
this won't get old quick.
That's gonna be every time.
As getting diagnosed with ADHD
Yeah.
and getting prescribed medication roughly a year and a half ago, roughly.
So you never had meds when you were younger?
No, I didn't even
yeah.
know I had ADD because I grew up in a household that probably wouldn't have believed it existed.
Yes,
Right. Like my dad's the kind of guy like he still doesn't think it exists. He's just
okay.
like he tried to. He had some leftover. He's like very Ron Swanson-esque.
Okay, you're
Um,
done.
That makes perfect sense too.
And he has leftover medications from like whatever he's had to take, and of course he didn't finish them because he's a hard ass. But I think one of them was like a calming agent because he's claustrophobic, and he had to
Okay.
take it for getting a CAT scan. Anyways, he had this calming agent. I don't even know I think it could have been Valium for all I know.
Yeah,
and
calming agent.
yeah, and I tried to talk to him
funny name
about
for
like
it.
what happens, what are these symptoms
This
of
is a calming
ADHD. If only it made me calmer.
Yeah.
it makes me anxious.
Yeah, that's a thing.
For real?
Yeah,
That's weird.
At least
it
around
might
people.
be the type.
Around people. I
it
don't
might
know
be
if
the
it's the
type.
type because I tried.
That's why I want it to be legalized, because then you can have a
Right.
place that tells you what you're getting and how it works
That's
and what
true.
it'll do to you.
But out of the, I think it was like 8 times that I tried it. They were
8?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Every time it made you nervous when you were around people? Like anxious, not nervous.
The first couple didn't, but everyone told me it was supposed to be a build-up the first couple times. So
No, I was fucking smashed the first time I smoked weed,
I
dude.
don't
was
know.
like, what the fuck? Like,
I just remember getting near
had-
food and just shoving it in my face, and that was
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
plus
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's normal.
yeah.
I was like, yo, do you have any, like, anything to eat in your
But
house?
anyways, I was trying to shit.
Slightly.
So,
The
anyways, he
calming
was trying to calm me down,
Calming
and I
agent.
told him one of the things that happens was I get really anxious. I get thrown into panic attacks through my train of thought. Is that I
Yeah.
start doing things, and then I go off topic, and then fixing minor things, and then it's just that endless cycle, and then my brain just goes all over the place, and then before I know it, I'm pacing back and forth for 45 minutes trying to figure out what I should be doing right there. And
it's like...
And he hears me talking about this, is like, so why don't you just take, here, I got these pills that I take for my claustrophobia, why don't you just take this? I'm like, well Dad, it's not quite the same, because I take, the doctor prescribed
I don't believe it exists, but here's some medication for it.
Yeah, that's so strange.
He's
what an interesting way
to
deal with that conundrum.
But at the same time, I take then again, like, there's two prescriptions for ADHD, right? There's stimulants and there's antidepressants.
Which is so strange.
It is very odd, and
why would you give somebody a stimulant who is so...
See, that's the fun. I asked my doctor that. I asked a couple doctors about that, and they were like, "We don't know. It just works.
Sort of works that way.
It just works.
It just works."
But at the same rate, it does.
They gave me fucking Adderall. That shit's like meth. Like, literally.
I mean, yeah, it is an amphetamine.
Marijuana for anxiety disorders when it makes some people very anxious. It's just sometimes certain things work. The brain is so complicated.
There's certain pathways, hallways that
and just the way that
it just seems so strange.
We're
it
wired,
does.
We don't fully. I mean, we understand it probably as best as we ever will, but there's things that are just. Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, hopefully it'll make more sense.
I think.
But to put it in, sorry, I didn't mean.
Go ahead.
To put it in perspective, when I do take, I'm not on my medication right now, so obviously my brain's going like a mile a minute. But if I take the medication, then it's not that hard for me to. It's kind of like my thoughts are like a ping pong ball, and the medication's just that paddle that gets it back in the court. And just keeps it on focus, or not as much keeps it on focus, but keeps it from veering out of the court.
Okay.
So it keeps me from going down that path.
I never experienced that with. Oh, okay.
Well, you know, it's different for different.
Because that's not how it manifested for me. It was never about anxiety. It was just about a lack of. I would just. Whoop.
Yeah, and that happens to me too, but I think it just comes out in different ways. I have a friend who's he's in his 50s and he has ADHD and he got prescribed antidepressants.
Yeah.
And it didn't make much sense to him, and he's the way I'm talking right now, that's like him 90% of the time, and he cannot focus. He'll do something and then forget he's doing something else, start texting and walk away, and he's like, what am I doing? Where did I put everything? And it just keeps going.
I've had that happen to me plenty of times.
Yeah, but the antidepressants didn't really help.
Yeah, it doesn't strike me as something that would help, that kind of thing.
So I don't know. I don't know
it
what
just
that's
makes no
supposed
sense
to do
to me.
But to get back on topic about the marijuana, is that I think that in developmental years, I do not believe, and that's just my own personal opinion, is I think in developmental years you should not be put on any medication.
Yeah.
You know, when you are.
It can create a dependence too in that regard.
Well, when I was younger,
of course it can.
When I was younger,
mentally and physically,
I grew into being somebody who has, severe anxiety disorder and manic depression and OCD.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what I am as an adult, but OCD, when I was a child, manifested into the symptoms of childhood schizophrenia. If they allowed me to be on medication as a child, I would have been medicated as schizophrenic as a child.
That's horrible.
But I'm not schizophrenic. I had OCD, and the intrusive thoughts that were happening to me as an imaginative young kid looked like schizophrenia.
Mm.
So I think that
sounded like
when you are developing and you are a child and you are a teenager, your imagination and just some things being developmental changes, some things being mental illness, they all come together and can't give anybody a clear picture of truly what's going on with you. I'm almost 30 years old now and just found out that what was going on with me as a kid was OCD.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And no one knew.
Mm-hmm.
I just do not think it is appropriate to medicate people that are so young that you don't truly know what's going on with them yet. So with marijuana being what I see as a really beautiful natural medication,
I don't think kids should be doing it as well.
Huh?
I don't think kids should be doing
yeah,
it.
I
as well.
don't think that kids should be smoking weed.
Like-
I think that it was pretty detrimental to me when I was younger. I did it too much. You're not doing it to medicate. You're doing it as a Band-Aid. You're doing it as a party drug. You're doing it as so many things that,
Right.
you're kind of hiding and messing with, growing naturally.
No,
I started smoking when I was what?
I thought you said
9.
one.
No, I started.
Straight out of the womb.
Yeah. Instantly blaze it. Just as
I
come
was
up.
born at 4:20 in the morning.
Yeah. Literally. But I think it was 19? I think 19.
Yeah, and I think that's a good age.
Yeah.
19 years old, A+.
Didn't seem too bad.
I feel like 18, 19 is around that point.
No, I lied. The first time I took a hit, I was like 18.
Get out of here, man.
That's the cutoff.
Yeah.
You're out.
You're kicked out of the podcast now.
I have to go.
Inappropriate.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. My whole family. I apologize. Yeah. But, yeah, 19. Yeah.
I think that 18 should be the legal age to drink, and I think that drinking is so much worse than smoking weed.
Drinking is terrible.
Yeah, because that's the weird thing too. Like a lot of other countries, I'm sure this is like something that everyone says, but in France and in other countries, they can drink once they're like 15, 16.
The big
16.
argument people have is how come people are old enough to go to war and die,
Yeah.
and not be able to have a fucking beer after
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Like,
Yeah, I
Where did
I can kill people for you, but I can't smoke weed.
I can't have a beer after.
What is that though? Why is it just the United States?
Because the United
States is fucking
needs their military and
stupid.
care.
No, it's not. That's, I don't mean about the weed. I mean about the fucking.
No, I'm
all,
talking about
everything.
the
Your drinking
legal
ages.
situation. Yeah,
Oh, we
it's-
use an inch.
It's a
Miles.
very political
Fuck
thing.
you.
Like it's an invested.
true.
A lot of the things that happen that aren't really good for the United States are all things that lead to invested interests.
Yeah,
You know
vested
what I mean?
interests.
Like basically is what it is.
People who want that way.
They want it that way because they're
It
making money
benefits
off
them.
of it.
It
you know,
benefits
they're
them in some way.
Yeah, they're benefiting off of it. The same thing with and I'm not going to sound like a crazy person in the medical industry, but like that's a big thing.
Yeah.
I mean, they just make so much money off of all this medication and medicating people, doctors.
If only we had Rolf in here.
I know, right?
Yeah, I know. We should get Rolf.
We should.
A person that I work with.
We need like 6 hours though.
I know it would be horrible.
It would be
a
sick.
person I work with, her son is a doctor, and had just started officially. You know, like he was going to try to work in a hospital or like a private practice, and then he was going to lead into his own practice. And basically, he was contacted by a bunch of like pharmaceutical companies, and they were like, okay, well, if you're going to work here, we need you to prescribe this many of this every year. And he's like, what? He's like, wait, why? And they were just like, no, it's extremely unethical, and it's honestly pretty disgusting.
Yep.
You know,
And we'll give you a
But
bonus
they-
for it.
and yeah, and it's like, and that's sad.
The more
because
you
don't
sell,
think
the
that.
more we'll
Like,
give you.
It's
Oh
a problem,
wow.
and it's been researched. There's been pieces on Vice. There's been things, you know. I'm probably sure that like
Yo,
there's been stuff on Jim Oliver, like John Oliver. There's been like a
Slightly
bunch
off
of
topic,
things.
I know, but it is on topic. Did you hear that Vice? You know they did this like index of like brands and things that teenagers find cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Vice was the second last.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
I find that so odd.
Well,
you would
that's great,
think
though,
you would
because
think that
it's
those kids.
news-related.
It's funny. No, Wall Street
It's
Journal was
ironic,
last.
yeah.
Wall Street Journal
Wall
was
Street
last.
Journal was last.
And then it was Vice. I was
Wow.
like, what the fuck?
Wow.
That's so odd.
Stand with PewDiePie.
Yeah. We're here. Hashtag.
But so yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
if you look into it, there's a lot of
Yeah.
little short documentaries or full-length documentaries.
I'll be right back.
You know, like I saw something that my friend told me about called Brzezinski. I think it was like, I forgot what it was, but it was about this doctor who's like Polish, came to America, had his own practice in Texas, and he was doing trials, and he discovered ways to cure like really severe, like malignant cancer. The minute he found these discoveries and reported them, the FDA came to shut him down. The pharmaceutical companies started suing him. Like, they were just, this cannot happen.
There was a report,
It's insane.
and I don't know the details because I didn't read into it because it's just so fucked up.
Oh, it's called Brzezinski. Cancer is a real business, or something like
Yeah,
that.
of course
And
it
I was
is.
like, that's insane.
All of us getting cancer, Big Pharma is raking in the fucking money from all of us dying.
So
They don't want a cure for cancer. Do you know how many people have come up with a fucking cure for cancer?
Yeah, it's true.
No.
It's ridiculous.
I was reading. I saw just a blurb of an article. I didn't read more into it because, I mean, hearing enough of it over and over again just gives me so much anxiety. But they've destroyed cures for cancer.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
completely destroyed them. It's terrifying. They don't want people to get better
You really don't.
unless it involves thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to try to help you with chemotherapy and all of that other stuff.
And it's a sad thing because what's tragic, obviously, it's really awful when you think about it. I mean, basically, these companies and these organizations are choosing the lives of who they want to help.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, we're okay with that. I mean, we're not, but we're letting it happen.
Well, that's America.
And that's basically the United States, yeah,
That's
unfortunately.
America in a nutshell.
But-
Nobody nobody cares unless it's cool to care. The only reason that people are giving a shit right now about what's happening in Syria is because Trump did it. Nobody cared when Obama was doing it. Nobody cared.
Well, there was that one tweet that popped up that was literally just the same thing out of context. Just how did it go? There was a tweet that someone snapshotted, but it was actually in reference to Obama. But then they applied it to Trump, and everyone was just like,
Everyone's like, yeah,
it's
fuck
like,
yeah. And it's like,
Oh, wrong
but
Trump?
none of you
Here
fucking
we
care. We are the fucking United States of the Kardashians. If the Kardashians promote it, if you care about, if these people are talking about it,
That's what you're talking
America cares. If someone on Instagram that's popular is talking about it, it's just everyone is so obsessed with themselves and other people who are obsessed with themselves that no one cares what's going on unless celebrities are telling them to. And that's what America is. You know, Katy Perry hates Donald Trump and loves Hillary Clinton, so hashtag I'm with her. You know, that's this country.
It's sad. It's
Yeah.
really sick, yeah.
It's like, yeah, dude, Donald Trump sucks, but guess what? It sucked for a long time. He's just the face of it that you feel comfortable hating now.
He's definitely a horrible person, but every politician ever is
He's
Thank
kind
you.
of a horrible person.
Yes.
He's the tip of the spear.
It's just the only difference is that
None of you
Obama-
gave a shit about about any of the shaft.
Like, I
you only
agree.
care about the tip of the
I
spear.
agree with people that Obama is more courteous. He's more well spoken.
He has a better fucking.
He has a
He
better
got
face.
swagger.
Yes.
He's got swagger.
You know, he's a
cool.
cool guy. Whatever.
He's
but
cool.
Like, that
He's
doesn't make him-
handsome. He comes off as kind.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
You don't fucking know.
He
what
knows how to present
does.
himself.
Yeah.
But look at the
He
shit.
droned a bunch of kids in Syria.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
droned anyway. He droned a United States citizen in a
Those
different
kids
country.
that you're showing photos of, those were from his.
Wait,
His.
what,
Yeah,
drones.
when his drones, yeah.
What
It wasn't
kids?
Trump.
What are you talking about?
Like the kid, like all the sad photos that were going around during the election of like these kids from Syria. Like, how dare you not want them coming here to our country? It's like, but Obama did
What,
that.
what, do you mean, what are you talking about? What do you mean? Are you talking about the gas attack?
No.
Oh, okay. I was
It
very
was a drone
confused.
attack. She just
Oh.
said drone 3 times.
Oh. Yeah, but I thought you. Okay, I was confused. I was like, what?
Yeah.
My bad.
Just keep smoking, Josh. Shut up.
Well,
Okay.
I'm not going to
You can't
anymore.
ask for work.
Oh, I'm sorry, man.
You're going to again. 420. At 420.
I had 420.
Wait, did you also smoke?
Yeah,
You're literally exactly the same.
that's what I thought. They were making. They
You
were
want it
trying
now?
to make fun of me, and they were just
No,
like.
he was.
I was talking a lot though,
He was.
Oh, I
he
love
was
that though.
and they were just like, I was like, dude, I just took a fucking phone call, won a contest,
Yeah,
I'm fine.
no, he's.
And they're
we're
like-
I was like, no, you're fine,
They're
but
like-
you're high.
Yeah,
Josh
but-
has Steve Buscemi eyes when he
I
gets.
do.
Oh, that's horrible. But Josh,
Steve
but
Buscemi.
He's
Trevor,
got Steve Buscemi.
Trevor was like, what are you talking about? He was like,
Can you hear me?
that was an hour ago.
Yeah, we were
I'm
fucking
like,
with
shut
that.
the fuck up.
I hate when people do that.
I
It's
mean,
so
Yeah,
annoying.
like it's, it's
That's
now
Josh
2 in the
always-
morning.
She's like, you know.
I'm like, oh,
it's been
so-
5 hours. I'm like,
And I was
in a
like,
really
yeah,
good-
so Josh just got fired because he didn't go to work because he's not here. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, no one's falling for it.
That was
You're
a. That was a
better.
hashtag.
Hashtag a
Hashtag, what's the game?
Undertale.
Hashtag
When we're
Undertale.
doing
I was gonna
podcast.
open Pokemon Go, but then I realized that
That
would
would
be
be
really
loud.
loud.
Hashtag Undertale.
Yeah.
Pull it, pull it. No, keep it, keep.
Hold the hole.
Hold the hole and pull it.
Hashtag
Damn it.
Metaton.
Hold the catch and pull it.
Hold on. I don't know what I'm doing. This isn't working.
Hold it hard.
I love watching.
Don't be a
this. It's
pansy.
like Baby Fausto.
Be real.
You.
Look, it's smoking. It's smoking. Go.
Pull. Yay!
Hey, what's up? What's up?
Is this gonna become a guilty by association
That's so
thing?
horrible.
No, you're gonna be alright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not
It's
not
not
in my
done.
regard. I mean like
Your
our,
lungs will be fine.
like this episode.
Your
No.
lungs will be fine.
And he goes, "No, they won't."
Your lungs will live.
But also, it's like, can we put some chlorophyll?
I'm gonna
drops? I
He's like, can we can I get a lemon?
need. Can we put some
You
fresh
alright?
lemon?
You alright?
Some fresh
You okay?
lemon chlorophyll drops?
You okay?
I want to laugh, but I'm joking.
I'm joking and
Hey,
dying.
you guys.
You'll be alright. You want some water?
Yeah, please.
Okay. Okay. Let's get you some.
In our
I
cups.
was gonna
So we
joke.
don't-
Like, can I have some lemon in the water?
Just use my mug.
I'm just gonna pour it on your head.
Oh no, you can the coffee cups.
Why don't you pour it
Here,
back
the
into
Dixie
You're
the...
gonna get this cool mug, dude.
Oh,
No, it's
that's
Cassie's.
I washed it.
Destroy it. No, I'm just kidding. What about, what is that? Dueling Dragons?
Yeah, it's
She
really
would.
cool. She won't care.
I know, she doesn't care about anything.
She doesn't.
So we haven't been talking for like a good 10 minutes now. We're just reacting.
We've been talking.
It's fine though, because
Oh, whatever.
it's the 420 episode.
I guess so. I feel bad for these, like, whoever's listening, they're just like,
I don't feel bad for you
they're
guys
like
at all.
what's happening? I don't know.
All of our
Like,
all of
why
our
am I
listeners.
listening to this?
No, they're
Yeah,
like, what is
really.
happening? Okay, so yeah, basically the whole fuck the whole system, not just Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Is the moral of the story.
The system
Oh.
was so fucking.
It was broken
I was-
to begin with. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, I for one will definitely hail our YouTube overlords when they take over
Oh
Yeah.
yes.
leadership of this country.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I would.
I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind a
What are you
PewDiePie
talking
president.
about?
PewDiePie,
Oh.
because you know,
Hey,
they're-
Phil DeFranco 2020.
I fucking love
Which
Phil
is
DeFranco.
probably not going to happen, but I love how he's totally promoting that as a joke because he knows that it's never going to happen.
Yeah, that's
The
what Donald
Franco,
Trump said.
the Franco 2020.
That's what everyone said about Donald Trump. Ha
Yeah.
ha ha, Donald Trump.
And then-
Yeah,
Watch
you
out!
know,
No,
and
you
then
want to know?
Trump
You want to
did
know
get
who
Cue
much
the
Always
money
Sunny
for it.
You know-
theme
you wanna
or
know who
Curb-
the true
Curb Your
adversary is?
Enthusiasm theme.
You want to know? I'm predicting it right now. Shia LaBeouf.
Oh,
Shut-
my
If
God.
if he's not in prison, he will
Shia
run for
LaBeouf is
president.
gonna kill himself because of 4chan trolls.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
is.
right.
No, we'll see who wins that battle.
We're gonna see him walking out on stage in a man bun and a suit, and you'll hear that Shia LaBeouf song playing.
Oh, yeah.
Actual
Running for your
cannibal.
life from Shia LaBeouf. He's finishing a knife. Shut.
I would totally agree. Like, PewDiePie would be a
Now
cool
he's El
president, too.
Presidente.
He's funny.
He's really funny. He's actually hilarious.
Hail to the chief.
Speaking of
Hollywood
Phil DeFranco,
superstar.
have you guys been watching the
President
episode lately?
Shia LaBeouf.
Yes, the one about those abusive parents.
Did you see
Yeah,
he
that-
had to make a video of like talking about that instead of actually making an episode?
Yeah,
That's so ridiculous.
they were like, you're you're destroying my family. I'm like,
So if you guys
you're
don't
abusing
know
your child.
what we're talking about,
yeah.
there was a YouTube video released
I read
by
most
I
of
think
I'll-
it's DaddyOFive or
DaddyOFive.
Fuck this guy.
Or DaddyOFive, DaddyOFive, something like that. If you look it up, the video has been deleted, but there have been copies that have been re-uploaded. And also, you can go to Phil DeFranco's channel on YouTube, and he
Shout out
did
to Phil
make a
DeFranco.
video about it. And he shows the video in it. So what happens is DaddyOFive, or whatever the fuck this guy's YouTube channel is, he has a family that what they do is they do pranks, and they try to make they try to get famous off of it. Now, if you watch normal prank channels, you'll see that, you know, it's usually the kids are in on it, ha ha ha, let's prank mom, let's prank dad. Yeah, no, this is like, let's fuck up our kids, traumatize them for monetary gain.
For views.
And
Even
you
the
all
kids.
for the
if you-
views.
you
Even
see
when,
their
even the
house,
fucking
too, like,
kid says it at one
the
point. He's like,
kids
you did all of
know,
this
like,
to me for a prank?
They've basically
What?
been able to monetize the videos really well, and the
Yeah.
kids have a lot of stuff from it.
Yes.
And they've told the kids, you can see in a lot of the videos, they're like, well, you don't want to do this because we're not going to have this stuff then, or we're not going to get this, or whatever.
Yeah, it's like,
so they basically
don't
like,
you want your
they
Xbox?
basically
Let me
bribe the
let me
kids.
beat you to death.
Yeah.
Well, no, the father actually broke the Xbox in one of the videos. There's
we're gonna get you an Xbox and then break it.
People
Prank.
have made
shit.
montages of abuse. And let me tell you something, man. One of the kids said, well, at least you don't beat us like other parents do. Well, let me tell you something. Emotional abuse exists. Emotional abuse gives children PTSD for the rest of their lives. Emotional abuse is real, and to talk about abuse like it only exists in a physical way is wrong.
Psychological trauma is a thing.
Psychological trauma is a thing, and that is what is happening to these children, especially one child in particular that is kind of the butt of all the jokes. So
Yeah, he's the Meg of the family.
a video went viral where
For real.
they, all over the carpet, they put this glow-in-the-dark paint in their house, and then they blamed it on the kids.
And it wasn't just like...
And it wasn't just blaming it on the kids.
They cursed at them.
It was screaming.
Yeah.
What the fuck did you do? Like, chasing these kids up the stairs, screaming at them, especially the one in particular, until they
What
are
the
sobbing
fuck?
on the floor crying.
Jesus
And
Christ.
that's how
And
the
then they're like,
story-
it's just a prank,
And
That's
the
bro.
father
basically-
goes, it's just
a prank, bro."
That's what the dad said. Now, it's not
To his
just
child.
What the?
to like a
To his
7-year-old.
sobbing child.
Yeah.
The
And they were really, like, it sound. They were,
It's
you know,
so
really-
insane that it's funny.
Because one thing is, I understand that there's very different family dynamics.
No.
My family, we
What the
like,
fuck?
my family is pretty close to not great, but in some cases, we kind of understood things. You know, we got jokes where we've been raised making fun of each other, but this isn't that at all. Like, these kids are being mentally abused, and they're being conditioned to think that, oh, if we do these videos, you're gonna get more cool stuff, and
Yeah.
that's really
Maybe
really
I can
horrible.
fill the
void of
the
being
whole.
a bad parent.
And the children are even
With cool
exclaiming
stuff.
in these videos to stop. And the father is basically saying, well, if you want this cool stuff, like, I have to vlog my life. Like,
Yeah.
I have to do all this stuff. And his
Oh
kids
my
are just
God.
sobbing. So they make this video called, like, Haters Back Off. Or it's, like, something stupid.
Something really corny, yeah.
Something dumb about, like, haters. Like, these are parents of children.
Yeah, because essentially the video
The
that
children
she's
in the back,
talking
like,
about
please don't.
went viral, and now people are starting to question
Getting
the
really
channel,
upset.
and they're getting really upset about the channel. So Philip DeFranco went in and watched a lot of the videos and was like, okay, clearly there's more to this than that. Like, clearly
What's
he's
the kid's
abusing
name?
these kids emotionally. They both are, the mother and the father.
Mhm.
They're both in on it. And then the one child, I can't remember the kid's name, Charlie or something like that. He's
I
the
don't know,
one
man.
kid
I feel so bad
who
for
is
that kid.
not happy about it, and in every video he is the main joke. They
They're just
prank him.
shitting on him.
But
They're just
it's
shitting on him.
ironic that you were talking about it's only mental abuse because there is physical abuse too. There are
Oh,
episodes.
there was. He shoved him into a bookshelf. His nose was bleeding.
There's
What?
videos where he's
So
like,
there's-
"All right, guys, we're gonna have a contest. I need you to smack your sister."
What the fuck?
And,
Yeah.
and you see it. It's not fake. It's
Yeah,
not
that's
fake.
real.
It's real. And then they went back after, Philip DeFranco talked about it. He did a piece on it. It was like a 5 or 6 minute piece compared to what he usually talks about.
Mhm.
And then that got even more attention. And he proves it. He shows a bunch of clips from that. He was like, this can't be fake. Like, you
They were
you
saying
threw
it's
your kid
food
into a bookshelf.
coloring. That his nose wasn't really bleeding.
what the
But then you
fuck?
see later that
Why
his
would
nose
you
is bleeding
even-
on the pillow. He goes to his bed and he starts crying.
And that was just a scab under his nose.
It's like, so they went back and they're like, no.
Why would you
know,
lie
We're
if there was
fake. They're
nothing
fake.
wrong?
I'm sorry, guys. And then he kind of tried to apologize, but it's like the bullshit apology. Like,
He's like, I'm sorry that we faked it.
I'm sorry that you feel offended about me fucking your girlfriend in front of you.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
super. That's basically the apology
Yeah.
he gave.
Okay.
He's like, I'm sorry that you guys are offended about how I treat my family and how I provide for them. And then he went on to blame Philip DeFranco because since Philip DeFranco did a piece on it,
It's his fault. Now.
it's his fault now.
Yeah.
And now people are trying to run them over
Whoa.
in the, like on the roads, and they're like threatening them. And I was like, well, maybe you shouldn't have abused your kids on video.
Yeah. Also, that's not.
Or in
that's,
general.
It's
Or
also.
just in
You
fucking
shouldn't have
general.
abused your kids.
Also,
And especially not on video.
Yeah.
his reaction to it. That's like, why didn't you expect?
Yeah,
this?
and it's really sad. So Phil DeFranco usually does a video.
I saw a
Monday
video
to
of him,
Thursday.
the kid, dude, like throwing the kid into his, like, by the,
He
he's
had
like
a
holding
bo-
him
he
by the
body
arms,
slammed
and he
his
throws him into the
stepbrother.
Oh my god.
One of the stepbrother of the little kid who always gets picked on body slams his brother onto the floor. That's not fake.
That.
Get owned.
You know what I mean? And so Phil DeFranco usually makes an episode every day, like Monday through Thursday, about different news. He had to make one explaining what's happening
situation.
because people are now asking and targeting him, and now there's this backlash, and he doesn't care. He just explained it. It's really sad.
he's like shut.
He's just like, no, it's not
Hey,
my
you
fault. It's
stupid.
your fault.
Yeah, you stupid piece
You
of trash.
shouldn't
Look
be
at your
abusing your
disgusting
kids.
behavior.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Let me go check on the laundry.
Hashtag.
Is that the intermission line?
Yeah.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby.
What's it called?
I could use a drink.
Yeah, that shit's
Not really.
terrifying. Like, the fact that there are some parents like that just don't understand. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
I can understand, and like I have no sympathy for
Then
the
again,
family.
I got the
for-
licks,
for the
dude.
parents.
My dad beat my ass, but like,
Yeah.
to me that was no.
Foreigners. Like,
Yeah,
To me and my
there
friends,
wasn't a video.
that was normal. Like,
There
See,
wasn't a
that's the
vlog
thing.
of it, and
Yeah.
for
yeah, they weren't
years-
putting it on the video, on video, and then putting it on the internet.
It's just
for
a
money.
prank, bro.
Yeah,
See,
it's
that's
just
the
a
thing
prank.
that like.
No, my dad was whooping my ass and going like,
what's really
"Fuck
sad
you."
is that
Like, not really, but like,
these kids.
It was
Like-
it was to make a point. It wasn't to get money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but what's really sad is that the kids here they're not like 18, 20-year-olds. They're like
they're kids.
they're kids. They're like
Yeah.
12, like 10 to maybe 16.
Yeah.
They're children, and so I went through a little bit, I guess I could say, abuse or whatever with my family, and so I understand that there is a difference, and sometimes certain situations merit certain lifestyles. Like, you know, I had a really young mom, so for a little while our relationship was more like she was my older sister than my mother. You know, I understand that.
Are you the
happens.
first child?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so like that happens, and we went through some stuff, but that doesn't excuse
The
what
behavior.
she did and the behavior. But
Yeah.
you know, I'm over it. It. You know, I've gotten therapy for it and things like that.
Right.
Other people deal with things like that too, but you can't. That doesn't negate the issue.
No,
You
it
know
doesn't.
what I mean?
Yeah.
In fact, it's almost worse. Like it sounds like he's. I haven't watched any of his videos, so I don't have much context.
Yeah,
but
I mean, we could show it to you. Like, it's really bad.
Trevor, did you say you were thirsty?
no, not really.
Oh.
It's not
Sounds like
not
you said you
really.
could use some water.
You want some water?
No, I'm good.
Did you say that?
You didn't.
No, I did. I'm
Oh,
good.
Did he say that?
Okay. Yeah, you said I could have some water. You said
Oh
I
my
could.
god, baby.
I
can
could
have
always
some
use
of
a
those
drink.
little
I'm
cookies?
just
What?
thirsty
No, you're gonna
fella.
eat all my cookies and I don't
Can I
know.
have some of those?
No.
Can I try one?
Can I have a little
Yes.
The
bit?
sugarless or regular?
Wow.
even
Because the sugarless cookies, I'm not.
You broke into them!
I didn't.
Don't let him have any.
These are the
Oh.
crispy crunch cookies.
I was gonna say it doesn't.
Colors, flavors, and flavors.
If anything,
What
it
was
makes
that?
it worse that he was trying to defend himself for essentially
Give me some.
abusing his kids psychologically and physically.
You can have any.
Ah!
There you go.
You can have like a few.
Here.
No, take
No.
those
But
are
you
for
have to
you.
monitor his
I
use.
will.
I will give it to you right
You're
after.
not to be fat. No, I'm just kidding.
Give me it.
I am
No,
way
it's
heavier
because
than-
it's
Eat
because
all
I'll eat
my
all of them.
PMS food.
Josh is seriously like the thinnest person.
I'm the thinnest guy in
I'm
the
the
world.
fat one, but I'm
Rebecca.
PMSing, so
I'll get you some PMS tea. I used to give it to my mom. She's giving it
No,
back.
What does the
chocolate
T stand
tasso.
Bad jokes by Trevor. Okay, so
Amazing.
I
It
can
accidentally
say,
made her PMS forever.
like I kind of grew up with like a few friends that dealt with like difficult situations. They were homeless, and
Move on
the
to
lifestyle was very different. But a lot of the stress and a lot of the mental issues came from their like their living situation. It was never that their
Yeah.
parent was abusing them.
Mhm.
So I can understand like their dynamic of like, oh, we're kind of family that we could joke around or we can play pranks, but it's again like they're not doing that.
Yeah.
It seems like they're just conditioning their children to think it is okay.
Yeah.
And so therefore their kids do think it's what's really going to be sad if CPS or whatever it's called, DSS, Department of Social
DCF.
Services, or DCF, you know,
Child Protective Services.
Child Protective Services, if they go into it because now the case is open. Like that's one of the things.
Oh, the case is open now?
Now there's a case open because they talked about that in their video, the first follow-up video, which was like, oh, this was just a prank. It's just a prank, guys. Stop. They were like, there has been a DCF case.
No.
And it was closed, but it had nothing to do with the videos because now DCF went out on Twitter and went out on public media and was like, we never investigated them. We didn't know about these videos.
Oh.
And so
Thank
now it's a
God.
big problem. So that's why the dad went and then did another video and was like, it's fake. This whole thing is fake. We didn't want to say that, but we've
Just
exaggerated things.
backpedaling more,
We're
okay.
doing- and then he tries to apologize, and once again he's like, well, it's DeFranco's fault. which is just really ridiculous.
Oh.
And so, like, that sucks. Because
She's gonna get fucking
what's gonna
dicked
really
down.
be a problem is that these poor
Just like
kids,
those
these
too.
poor kids are going to go
Well, they're the
maybe
ones who are
into the
going to
system.
lose out,
And they're
essentially.
they're not gonna know what's going on. They're gonna
Right.
think that it's okay that their parents are abusing them because
Yeah.
that's what they know.
They've been conditioned.
They've been conditioned to that, which is really tragic because
That
again,
kid seems to know that it's not fucking cool what his parents are doing to him.
yeah, the one kid does,
Mhm.
but it doesn't seem like the other kids do.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And
I
that's
forgot
that's
even
a
that those
problem.
kids existed.
Yeah, because there's like 5 of them, and the one child, the youngest one, is the one that seems to be abused the most. So it's really
They
sad.
terrorize him. It's terrible.
Jesus Christ, that's like.
On video. And posted on the internet.
It was the thing is in the first video where they talk about the situation, the one kid goes up to camera and the dad's like, you know what, it was a prank, and the guy's like, it's just a prank, bro, and he looks away, and the mom is like, basically, that's it.
Oh.
And they're like, are you guys traumatized? The little kid is like, I don't know what that means. And then, the other kid is like, well, at least you don't beat it, assuming the fact that other parents beat their kids because they've been conditioned to this.
But
And
you
they're
wanna
like,
know something?
you always think worse.
The
You
parents
know.
probably have said their entire lives, at least we don't
At least we
beat you.
Right.
beat you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I bet is the problem. Or one of the issues, at least.
To ask them that kind of question and think that justifies everything that they're doing. It just,
Are you guys
boggles me.
traumatized? We're
Are-
children. Should
I'm
be the
not
only
gonna
answer
say
that you get.
yes when I'm alone in the house with you, and you abuse me.
Exactly.
It's fucking. What's that thing called? When like you're a kidnapper, like.
Yeah, it's Stockholm
Stockholm
syndrome.
syndrome.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Especially because it's your fucking parent.
I mean, there's so many. Wasn't there? There was a couple articles that popped up recently about how about abuse in general and how even just physical abuse alone is a detriment. Just period. It is a detriment. If I could quote it word for word, I can't. But the whole idea is that it is a detriment. It doesn't provide any sort of background for a positive mentality. So they're taking essentially the physical aspect, physical abuse, the psychological abuse, and saying, "Oh yeah, they're still perfectly capable children. They can get through their lives just fine. They're not even fucking developed yet. What is this
No.
shit?"
It's really sad. And it's one of those things, like, when you condition,
What do you think,
we
Bowie?
are, a lot of people say, like, humans are, what's it called, like, we're creatures of habit.
We are.
And it's sort of, it's true, because even after a while, if you abuse someone, they
They get
find
used to
a
it.
way to get used to it.
Yeah.
And they think it's normal.
It's the only way for it to be bearable.
It's the only way. I had a friend who dated a girl who went through domestic violence. Like, her boyfriend would hit her, and then she would freak out. And one time he was telling us, he's like, "Dude, my girlfriend is like, why don't you hit me? What's going on? Like, I'm being a bitch. Why don't you hit me?" And
It's like
and
that.
he's
him
like,
not
"What?"
hitting her means he doesn't love her.
And he's like,
Yeah.
"What are you talking about?" Like,
And
he
then-
broke
yeah.
up. He didn't know. He didn't understand.
Yeah.
And I was like, clearly she's been abused.
Keep a clear
You
distance.
need to talk to her and make sure she gets therapy or something, because who knows what's going to happen, in her future.
Yeah.
Like, that's just how abuse is, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
It's horrible. I was wondering, you guys were looking
DeFranco.
at me like I'm weird. Am I like
Looking at you
am I
like you're weird.
yeah? Like, am I
Oh.
saying weird things that I think I'm
No.
saying?
You're
No.
saying,
Coherent
you're saying
sentences?
completely
Or-
coherent
No,
sentences.
you're
You're, good. You're fucking stellar.
plus. What's going on?
Legit.
A plus. Give me some more.
Oh, so you've been mumbling for the last 20
Yeah, that's what I was
minutes?
wondering.
Yeah,
Like,
dude, I don't know what the
Are
fuck.
your lips numb? Are you still...
I'm like domestic violence and you guys are gonna, like, after we're done, you guys are like,
DeFranco!
"Oh, so you can never."
Constantly put you in the hospital. You're not even speaking words.
I know, that'd be so bad.
I'm always like, please let me listen.
He's like,
He's
what?
just shoving his face in the
Fucking,
Yeah.
fucking
What
terrible.
time do you need to be at the place?
It's
of your
4 o'clock. We can do like
You
another
need to
10
be there
minutes.
at
Or
5.
so how long does it take you to? You want to stop in like 15 minutes?
Yeah.
10 minutes.
About
or
like
whatever?
10 minutes, yeah.
Can we get an alarm?
4:30?
I wanna make
4:30?
Sure, please, I want to make sure. I don't want
I'll set one.
to make him late or anything.
Oh yeah, no. And the clothes are in the dryer. That was my fault. That was late.
I see it. 4:30 was
Still,
fine.
you
4:30
Yeah,
was
but
fine.
that clock is actually slow. It's 4:19.
know. It's 4:19. Yeah, exactly.
I got
See,
it,
thank
I got
you.
it.
Guys, it's almost 4:20.
Okay.
Oh, man!
Doesn't matter.
No, dude, you're not doing that. Come on.
No, what I mean is it doesn't matter. So
I have
it's still
to?
gonna be 420.
Oh yeah, I
You
have to.
I mean, my mom
Only if
says,
you smoke with me.
no.
It's 420!
Whatever. Can you do it so it actually makes an effect instead of the bullshit I was saying?
You
No,
smoked
you have
last
to go
time.
to work.
Yeah, but it, like...
Oh, that.
No, I mean, yeah. I don't
You
have...
do it so. Okay, cool.
Burn
Alrighty.
drugs every day.
Shut up.
Sorry.
There
Have
you
you,
go.
have you ever seen those YouTube videos
Nah.
of that
Beautiful.
guy?
Out of
You're
the
gonna get-
nose,
you're gonna
just
get-
a Fausto dragon.
You're gonna get blasted.
way more, yeah.
Yeah, there's way more.
You ever seen those videos of someone who
Oh,
takes
it
the smoke weed every day
It hurts
song
you in your life.
and puts it to TV shows?
It hurts you in your heart, and then it hurts you, and then it stops hurting you in your
Water.
heart. Yeah, you got it.
What a story,
As much
Mark.
as you need. You need more? You okay?
Sometimes it feels like my chest is burning for like a fucking hour.
This can happen.
Can you get
This
me-
is normal. I'll get you some water. This is normal. You're not gonna die. Okay, we got you.
You gonna die right
I'm dying. No, I'm just kidding.
now? I'm dying.
You know how many times I've said that?
Twice?
A million times.
Oh.
While smoking weed. Oh my god.
Always
I'm
like,
dying,
"Oh,
please.
God damn it, I hate this.
Please, I'm dying. I'll be like, we'll be smoking, and I'll be playing Dota or some stupid bullshit like that, and this is happening to me while I'm playing, and I'm like, help me, someone.
It happens.
Please,
so
hip.
funny.
Send tip.
He's like about to vomit on the
Oh
computer.
I'm like, I will die if you don't help me. I'm like, Meredith, can you play? So that spell, that spell.
It's so bad.
Press that spell. Oh, you're gonna burp up smoke.
Am I?
That's just gonna vomit on the microphone.
It's like that bad, like, what was that movie, Heartbreakers?
Yes.
I mean, it was funny, but it was not the greatest movie, but there's a scene where Gene Hackman is, like, obsessed with cigarettes, smoking, and so the guy dies, and she tries to give him CPR, and then when she breathes out smoke.
That's hilarious.
It's sad. Anyway, guys,
Oh, my God.
we have to wrap this up somehow, because
I think this was fun. Thanks for
Yes.
having me here.
Donald Trump.
we're never inviting her ever again.
You can be here as many times as you want.
Never again, because she reads horrible articles in the voice of the person that wrote it, who wrote it.
That hurt me. Yeah, that was really annoying.
I didn't even get to the last one.
We couldn't
Oh
do
yeah,
it.
that's
Stop.
right.
Wait, can we get number 4?
All right,
you
hold
didn't
on.
actually?
No, I didn't.
Let's finish that shit.
That's how we're gonna finish.
4.
Okay.
Marijuana is terrible for your physical health.
Oh my
Fausto
God.
cough a little bit more right now while there's.
Yeah, I know.
It's even more toxic than cigarette smoke.
Oh my God, it's like
That's
One-
not true. That's been proven to be false.
one joint is 8 cigarettes.
Yeah.
What?
No.
What? That?
Trevor, don't believe these people.
Okay.
5.
I'll shield my ears.
The drug decimates many people's lives. To be fair, yeah, my husband's like really fucking stupid.
It's crazy because you
Like
are
my-
so uneloquent on so many levels.
I know.
You never do anything. I can't
Correctly.
ever ask you for favors
Yeah.
because you don't have the capacity mentally to do anything,
Yeah.
and yet that's not true. And even when you're high, you seem to be okay, and you
Yeah.
can still function. So it's funny.
It's 420 again.
Josh,
I'm gonna fucking punch you in the face. I'm not doing this again.
Hey!
It's 4:23.
Yeah,
fucker.
yeah,
Like,
no, yeah.
It's not really 4:20.
I'm still a little high. I didn't smoke right now. I'm still a little
movies
high, but
portray
yeah, I'm pretty much.
Contact high?
I'm pretty
guys,
much fine.
excuse me. This is important. This is the last one.
Shut up, Brandon.
Movies portray potheads as harmless, fun-loving people who spend their time
When
diddling
actually-
and munching
Can't wait.
Cheetos.
They stab you
But
to
they
death
don't
with
know
knives.
these people are
Knives made of
flunking out
pot.
of school, losing
Oh
their
my God.
jobs, frustrated because they can't concentrate, or losing the love of their lives because they don't want to be with a pot-smoking loser anymore. That's gonna be on my divorce papers. I don't want to be with a pot-smoking loser
You know what I'm gonna be doing?
anymore.
You know what I'm gonna be doing during the trial?
What?
Smoking weed.
pot?
Smoking weed. and be like, what's up, motherfucker?
So
Alright, can you give me back my granola, please?
No, 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 no.
All right.
This is
Fire, Meredith. No, I'm
Listen,
kidding.
the only thing wrong
Thank you
with-
so much for giving me that.
It's so good,
It's so
though.
delicious. Rebecca was like, if I eat one, I'm gonna eat the whole bag. So no,
Yeah.
but thank you. I have to eat this as cereal. It must be
Well,
like so
almonds
good.
are like one of my favorite snacks
Yeah,
in the
the
world.
almonds, yeah.
And almond butter I love. So when I saw fucking almond butter granola at Trader Joe's, I was like,
Oh, I know.
oh my god. So I got 2 bags, but
Trader Joe's is amazing.
we have to go back to Trader Joe's because I didn't get my grilled chicken, which is like the main thing I go there for, and I was just so scatterbrained.
Grilled
that
chicken
day.
that's already like cooked.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
And then I put it on on the skillet and like kind of like really get it crispy, and I put like olive oil and garlic and herb stuff and like sea salt and a bunch of stuff, and it's so good. And then I make it with brown rice and broccoli.
Okay. Yeah. So we're not eating Doritos.
So the next episode,
Yeah, fuck
we're
you guys.
eating fucking Trader Joe's.
We're eating free-range, organic, fucking activated almonds, fucking...
And
Hilarious
so the
activated
next
almonds.
episode of this podcast is going to be a review of the Bye Bye Man.
No, it's not.
What we're gonna do is actually the next episode is gonna be how people are conditioned to watch super fucking shitty movies, and that example is perfect. We're gonna review The Bye Bye Man, which is one of the worst movies of 2016. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
I don't agree with
Like
that.
they say. Oh wait,
Right
closing
now,
out.
why don't we gonna talk about like how bad the movie industry is right now? I guess if you guys care, because you guys don't like bad movies as well.
I don't like
I-
that.
I
I
like
actually some bad movies
There's a
are
difference
fun.
between so bad it's good, like The Room, or you know what is
Troll
it? They
2
Live or
is-
Troll 2 or something.
They Live
like
is
that.
sick.
They Live is a great movie, but that fight scene is really funny. That's like
How
funny
dare...
with
Yeah, that's the
teenagers.
best fight scene of all time.
And so
It's
my
just like 10 minutes long.
So my point is that I want to do an episode like that at some point because I think we all kind of watch stuff and
We can
It'd
talk
be
about
interesting to
bad
get
video
perspective.
games and why they're being made.
yes, because both of these guys are big gamers. Actually, 3 of them are gamers. But unfortunately, she's
Meredith's
also
The Gamer Supreme.
she's also like obsessed with bad horror movies, but that's fine.
And good horror movies.
Bad horror movies, but that's fine.
Meredith's part of this podcast now. You're a staple. If she's not here, it's gonna suffer.
We're gonna do that. We're gonna have a guest spot and just have like someone act like Meredith, but they're never gonna sound the same.
Rebecca's gonna come interview, but she's actually just gonna sit over there.
She's gonna sound super.
So vampire.
Vampire.
A vampire.
Vampire.
So bad.
Oh
Rebecca, you're
Rebecca,
my
we
favorite.
fucking love you. Rebecca,
That was not my idea.
And you guys don't
You
know
don't
who
get to
this
blame
is,
me.
so it's great.
and I
But
still adore
hopefully
you.
she will never hear this episode.
Yes, she will.
Vampire.
She'll laugh. By the way, Rebecca, we're so proud of you.
Oh my God.
Yeah, our friend Rebecca.
Our friend Rebecca was
Our friend
crowdfunded.
Rebecca is an incredible filmmaker, director,
Producer.
A+ human being. Go.
Hashtag Sylvania Grove.
Sylvania Grove. Hashtag don't know how to pronounce that fucking movie that was really good. But
Oh,
Movestats.
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 Amazing.
Yeah.
Go look her up. Who can pronounce her last name?
Rebecca. Oh, I can't do
I
it.
can, but I
Rebecca
forgot what it was.
Fishnush.
No.
I love you.
It's
No.
Rebecca Fieschi.
There you
Is it?
go.
Is it
For
actually?
the win. Actually, it's Fieschi, but that's close enough.
Rebecca, we tried as hard.
We
as
tried,
could.
Rebecca.
I didn't try because I
Love you,
wanted it
Rebecca.
myself. I didn't want
Also,
it.
our friend Cassie is working the Tribeca Film Festival, and we're really proud of you too. So please be
You're
safe.
the best. Don't die in print traffic.
Don't
Yeah,
die,
please, don't die
get
from
run
traffic.
over. Please just breathe, take a breath. Listen to some,
Hashtag.
hashtag
New
Ariana
movies.
Grande.
Oh God, no! She hates her.
I know.
I bet. I mean, we were talking about this contest online and like,
Hashtag
what's the
Brendan Urie.
soundtrack of your life, and she didn't know what to choose. And I'm like, it's Drive. You
It's Panic
play
at the
Drive
Disco.
all the fucking time in the theater. And then she's like, oh my God, we changed my answer. So I was actually surprised I knew this about her.
She should have picked Drive
That's
as the
probably
world
what
that she
she's-
wanted to live in.
picked.
Where Ryan Gosling might just drive by and be like,
She
That's
picked a
what
good
Ryan
one. She
Gosling's
was the
choice.
only fucking coherent person in that entire
what
article.
was hers again? I forgot.
Groundhog Day.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. I love that he like learned everything later.
Right?
He's like, I'm gonna learn how to play the piano. I was like, that's so fucking cool.
So yes, to end this podcast, we're very proud of our friends. Always be proud of your friends and support your friends, okay?
I fight for my friends.
Don't do
So,
that.
You had to ruin it.
Ike.
You had to ruin it.
Ike.
I'm sorry.
Ike fights for his friends. Dude.
It's Ike.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
you don't play Smash Brothers, do you?
Plus, I wasn't play
I
nothing.
do. I played it.
So
Yeah?
there weren't.
I've
There
heard
weren't.
of it.
There weren't
I've heard-
enough
I read
day
about it.
420
No,
games.
yeah.
So.
No, yeah.
I read about it.
played
There was
it.
a movie about it.
I played it a few times. It's fun. And I think
Which one,
my,
Melee?
Melee and
And Brawl?
And Brawl, yeah.
So you played with Ike?
Yeah.
You played with Ike and you don't know that
I didn't
stupid
realize what
cheesy
you were
ass
talking
line.
I
about.
fight for my friends.
I didn't hear it because we'd always fucking turn down the volume. That shit's
Oh,
annoying.
ew.
The songs are the best
Wait,
part. I hate in video
disgusting.
games
I
how
think he only
when
said
they
it when he
dub
won,
things,
didn't
they
he?
suck.
Oh, that's why, because you sucked. He
No,
only
no.
said it when he won.
Yeah, he only says
I've
it when
won
you
with
win.
like quite a few times.
And you did. Okay.
Didn't pay
Bullshit.
attention.
Look,
All
I got
this?
this for our pants.
Anyway, we still haven't
Is it?
signed off, but Trevor's a dick, and
Well,
no,
I
just
had the
kidding.
timer for
No, just kidding.
4:30.
I know. But yeah, so
Well,
I guess we're
it's-
gonna try to do a bunch of different things on this podcast because we possibly can recover the first episode, but we lost it. We
It's
haven't
fine.
recovered it
We'll
yet,
get it. It'll be
and
love.
then we'll
It'll
figure
be
this out.
your-
This will be like a
your-
mess of
Your
a fucking
weekly,
podcast
your
episode.
weekly topical
Which will be
podcast.